unfunnable. Fusion reaction.
Oh, hell yeah.
Get to the chopper! Press go up. Gigantic fusion reactor that just works.
Multiple income streams and real yield. Jeeps can no longer dump on your heads. The revolutionary decentralized finance protocol. Fusion reaction in T-minus 3, 2, 1. Fusion!
You don't know the power. The math is unfunnable. Fusion reaction.
Oh, hell yeah.
The mothership. And what's it gonna do? Everybody excited?
Oh, hell yeah.
Give my creation!
Fusion.
Get ready to rumble.
Fusion.
Gotta do a huge shout out to Cool Sheet. That song just hits.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP.Money, our official live stream every week. We're coming to you on Thursdays at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. A lot to go over tonight, as usual, and before we get into all that, I want to introduce my co-host with the most and fellow team member, LA, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, really good. We got a bit of a headache today. We may have to try to get this short and sweet tonight. We've just been burning a candle at both ends, but we have a lot of exciting updates on what we've been building, on the road to recovery for sure. So how about you? How are you today?
Really good and excited to see all of you guys. It feels like it's been more than a week for some reason.
I know, I feel the same way. I know some of the comments in the chat, it's been a minute, but we're here every Thursday. But it does feel like that. That's just a lot going on. So, all right. And before we get started, please also make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That helps our algorithm. It helps us get the word out. And with the markets waking up a little bit, hopefully we get some more interest back into DeFi. And that's kind of where we can kick things off. A little bit of a market update. A nice resurgence in the market. Bitcoin is surging. Ethereum up from 1,500 lows, now back around 1,800. Again, we still have a long way to go, obviously, but it is nice just to not have another red candle daily, red candle on the chart. So yeah, things are looking really good. I think overall there's some a little less uncertainty returning to the overall markets. That obviously helps, but we also see Bitcoin decoupling a little bit from the overall markets, which is also a good sign. And gold actually going down, which to me is a sign that people really are bullish on Bitcoin being, a store of value and a hedge against, traditional TradFi, traditional markets, and even gold. I think the tides are turning, which is really bullish. And in terms of our ecosystem, obviously we have a lot of exposure to ETH. Bitcoin typically always gets the shine, so to speak. But once people start really making a killing on Bitcoin, and markets really start to top out, that's when we start seeing a rotation into altcoins. Again, Ethereum being kind of the largest altcoin, even though I consider it, right up there with Bitcoin. But again, I think that rotation will still happen. And even alts. I mean, again, like lower cap alts, like we see some of the memes starting to come back, and our forecast has been the same. I mean, we've said that we're going to go through this volatility through the summer, and that September, October into the end of the year is when we really start seeing the fireworks, and this could be the beginning of that. And the way Bitcoin's been performing, I mean, we see Bitcoin and ETH go up 10% in a day, which is just insane. So I mean, we could be at new all-time highs before we even know it. And that is just one point I want to make before we get into our ecosystem specifically. The sad reality is by the time you realize that we are in a bull market again and things are recovering for real, it's usually too late. So the whole idea is that you want to pack your bags ahead of time. Again, I know a lot of you already have your bags packed, which is good, or you're tapped out of dry powder. So it's not meant to get you to FOMO or be sad that you missed out. But this is the time to accumulate. A week ago when everybody was bearish and sentiment was all time low, and you hear people writing off crypto forever and going back to McDonald's. Had you bought at that time, you'd be buying the bottom essentially. So just remember the psychology of crypto is a major, major factor in all this. And, it's hard emotionally as humans to, buy in something when things are uncertain. But, that's what, and that's what they say, the conviction plays make it a lot easier. So if it's something that you truly believe in, it's a lot easier to buy the lows. So, all right, that's kind of a high level overview. LA, what do you think? I mean, I know it's been nice to see the portfolio up at least a little bit. Good Lord, it was looking pretty scary for a while. I never thought we would have seen ETH below, 1,500 bucks.
No, I mean, I didn't think we were going to see it below 2000. So it's certainly nice to see that we're having a recovery and it's been stable over the last few days.
Yep, absolutely. So, all right, well, let's go through some of our updates. Give me a second here. I'll pull up my notes. All right, so we do have a lot of updates on the development front. I also released a breakdown of the legacy migration math. Um, we'll go over that as well. But we're making great progress as usual. One thing I'm really excited about is the dexVault reboot. So again, Jake, Dex CEO, our right hand man, he's just been busy literally since the day the exploit happened, coordinating the devs, getting everything ready. And so next week, he will probably be on to give, a formal update with everybody. So I was hoping to have him on tonight, but he's still super busy kind of finalizing all this. And the good news is that the vault should be up and running by Monday. So again, we're only a few more days away, doing final testing on Friday. Usually we do try to give the devs some time off over the weekends, but right now it's all hands on deck, especially with our reduced capacity. But again, word on the street is a complete Vault reboot on Monday. Now, what does that mean? So obviously we don't want to reboot and do anything without having the proper security, in place. But we think that we have. We've literally burned everything to the ground in terms of servers and logins and passwords. We have a whole new server, a whole new, even down to computers, brand new computers. So all that has been fixed. And then we also have time locks and multi-sigs on the changes of the smart contracts. So all that is now in place. and it will be kind of a beta release, meaning not full functionality. The only chains that we're going to support are Base and Sonic to begin with, which again is kind of a bummer for our ecosystem because we're on BSC, but we just have to focus on one chain at a time. And the most TVL, the most volume, and the most fees come from Sonic and Base. So that's why those are the first two. And yeah, we will be doing a full audit as well. I've mentioned it a few times, but we've hired a company called Zelic. They are the parent company of Code Farina, and they are what we call a offensive auditing firm, where they literally try to hack into the ecosystem. So that is currently underway. It's probably going to take about 4 or 5 weeks, hopefully sooner. But we'll have a full report on that, and we'll also have a full report next week, hopefully on the actual hack itself, to rule out any kind of inside job and all that. We have a lot of data that supports that, and hopefully, again, I mean, it's still a long shot, but there could be some recovery of those stolen funds too. So we'll talk all about that next week. But yeah, everything is really coming together. What else, LA? We want to go over a little bit about last week's announcement, and why we're with the vaults. Like, what else can we elaborate on?
Yeah, AJ mentioned most of this just now, but I want to actually fully read the full announcement from last week because
Perfect.
for any of you guys who missed it, I think it's really important to speak on why we believe this new iteration of the vaults will be ironclad and why we expect it to be successful moving forwards. So the reboot process is well underway with our newly updated contracts featuring enhanced security measures. The new contracts are fully open sourced and verified to encourage public scrutiny. Primary adjustments include the addition of roles that limit the ability for any single user to access functions of any core contracts. In conjunction with role limitations, we've hard-coded a multi-signature contract that requires a minimum of 3 signatures for any potential changes to take effect. Processes for these signers include cold storage keys that have also been put in place, making any future exploit in this fashion near impossible. We've completely rebuilt our cloud servers from the ground up, greatly limiting access to essential personnel only, with additional fail-safe measures to quickly revoke access if needed and ensure that any new code pushed to the server is thoroughly reviewed by our internal team before being allowed on production. The new contracts will be connected to our front end, starting with Sonic and Base, as AJ just mentioned. All current vaults will be moved to a legacy domain and will need to be migrated to new contracts. In order to verify our work and further ensure investor confidence, we've also contracted Zelic to conduct an audit of the aforementioned contract changes, in addition to providing an in-depth review of our operational security and infrastructure. With a background in real-world offensive security research, Zelic is a perfect fit for us in this critical stage of development. Zelic also owns Code Farina and will be helping us navigate a white hat hack competition once the primary audit is complete, to stress test our entire system to make sure we're absolutely 100% secure moving forwards. Please stand by for further announcements and updates regarding our third-party review of the post-mortem from Intelligence on Chain, as well as a detailed compensation plan for those affected.
I love it. Yeah, that's a great, concise overview. Again, I appreciate you reading it word for word, LA. And yeah, I mean, the two takeaways from that are we are, rebooting completely. It's happening a lot sooner than we had anticipated. We are taking all the security measures necessary. And even if, you are wanting to go into the vaults, but just have it as a private vault, that in the original hack, that those were a lot less affected. So that's another added security measure for sure. So, but the point is yes, we want to win everybody's confidence back. Everything is now open sourced. So again, full transparency and all that. And like I've said many times, the actual smart contracts were not what was hacked. The attack vector was through our cloud server. So, again, it's easy to say, what if, and be an armchair quarterback. And, obviously we were a victim of our own, speed of development. So now we're addressing all those potential issues so that this will never ever happen again, moving forward. So, and yeah, I mean, it's great timing too. Markets are recovering, volumes picking up. Um, the vaults have been just absolutely incredible in terms of yield and automated liquidity management. All that will be back and will be ready to roll again. Now, one more thing LA mentioned is a compensation plan. So, along with the reboot of the vaults, we will have a full breakdown for those that were in the vaults personally. We've done a snapshot of all the assets that you had in the vaults based on wallet address. You will be given a essentially credit in what we call an escrow token. It's something that DexFi has done before with great success. They paid off about $1 million in their old Tomb ecosystem, and this is the same sort of structure. So all that, we'll have a full Medium article or post on that. But yeah, that should be rolled out again sometime next week. And that also leads to the next topic, which is the recovery bond. So again, what we need right now is working capital, and we have a proven model. The vaults work, everything is there. Obviously, the hack was a major setback, but overall, we're still, in a great position. And so with recovery bonds, we'll have a program where you can buy these bonds. They'll probably be around $300 each. We may make it a little bit lower, but the whole idea is that by getting into these bonds, you are allowing us to have some more working capital. We start generating yield through the vaults, and then there is a split on those bonds to the investors of the bonds and to the recovery fund. So it's a win-win for everybody, and we feel like there's enough yield in that it will be very lucrative for both parties. And I know a lot of you again are tapped out, so you don't have to buy bonds to benefit from this, but it will be a great community effort to again help us restart the the yield, so to speak, and then make everybody whole that much faster. Because the whole idea is that based on what you lost in the vaults, that's what you're due, and every week, based on the yield, then you get made whole. So it's a win-win, and again, even down to like the fees of the platform, obviously vault fees. We have to still make money to be able to pay the bills, but a lot of those fees will go towards making the recovery bonds and people that were affected whole first, and then we can start, getting back in the rhythm of actually earning, and that helps again EMP and DexFi, or GDEX token, and all of our native assets. So again, it's super powerful. If you do have any dry powder, not only is it powerful because it can be a major earning potential for you. I mean, even with the split, we may be looking at 6-7% monthly on that. Again, it will be variable, and the wallets will be doxed, no smoke and mirrors, and you'll be able to literally see what it generates every day. So again, no guarantees on the payout. But if we can, even if we do 10% monthly, that's 5% a month to investors and 5% to the recovery fund. That's better than most DeFi at the moment, in the current landscape. So all that is really powerful in terms of opportunity. And you're also helping yourself going into the bonds. It helps you also be made whole that much quicker if you do have dry powder on the side. So, all right, that's again a high overview of the bonds. We're hoping that they're ready. Again, full vault reboot on Monday, and then bond rollout by the end of the week next week. So everything is happening quickly, and so just again keep an eye out for all of our updates. But yeah, anything else you want to elaborate on with that, LA?
No, I think you did a great job with that.
Cool.
Also, we've got a little chirper in the chat who is about to get booted because doesn't get it. Some people just don't get it.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, again, it's just basically what it's alluding to is asking for donations. We're not asking for donations. We could have done that. We could have, there was many people that actually offered that, and we chose not to. It's not a donation. You're earning from your deposits into bonds. So again, before you comment on what we're doing or not doing, please make sure you understand what is actually being said and what is being offered. So this is
Yeah.
not a donation. It's not a, it's an actual yield vehicle that you could actually probably make more with recovery bonds than most protocols right now. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Also, just to let you know, we've posted all of our AMA notes from the last few years and all of our recent AMAs. We've gone over this in detail, what the recovery bonds are going to entail. So please, before leaving ignorant comments, educate yourselves. We're here to help you if you have any questions, but we will not fare kindly to ignorant comments.
100%. So yeah, so obviously again, we're still moving through all this, we're still building, but there is real light at the end of the tunnel to make everybody whole and overcome, a hack that again, we were all stolen from. I mean, again, it's not something that obviously we wish we could have prevented it, but it is what it is. And rather than just saying, oh well, and giving up, we're putting together a plan to make it right, and that's what we always do. So again, please put things into perspective. All right. That also being said, the migration math. Do you want to move on to that part, LA?
Hell yeah, I do.
All right, awesome. This is also super bullish. Again, I know I said I would announce this before the next AMA on the last AMA. I made it by a few hours, so again, apologies. Just been so busy with all the back end recovery efforts. But yeah, we have published the legacy contract math. What this means is, again, those that had positions in all of our legacy contracts, that's detonator, nodes, reactor, generator, sentinel, defender. Again, forgive me if I'm forgetting any, but literally all the legacy contracts outside of EMP Fusion. Um, we are putting together a compensation program for that as well. So again, not because we have to, and any of this, even with the other bonds. I mean, you have to understand this isn't something that we have to do. This is smart contract code on the internet. I mean, we're not in control of a hack or a game. We can't guarantee results. We're just here building code that all of you interact with. So that being said, we still want to try to do the right thing and understand a lot of you may have been burned. And so again, trying to make that right in the long run. So this is how we do it. We do we can, and we move forward. So with these legacy contracts, you are going to be getting credit in SAC points. So just to back up a little bit, oh, and two, before I forget, all the USDT batteries as well that you guys are missing, that will come with this next round of the migration. So again, we still haven't forgotten about you. So let's just get that out of the way. Again, once those are all out, you will also get credit and for any pending rewards as well. So that's for the USDT batteries. But then, okay, so back to the legacy contracts. Again, we have full math breakdown, which LA can read. But Do you want to just kind of go through that now, LA? On the post I just put
I don't
out.
know if I'm the one to read the math. The math.
All right, yeah. Let me
To be
pull it up
honest.
then. Yep, no worries. Let me get it up. Hang on 1 second here. Hang on 1 second. All right. All right, perfect. So, all right, so I'll spare you the intro and all the background info because we've been updating you along the way. But essentially, we've done all the math. We are again doing something that is uh, able to be fair in a way that but without diluting everybody else, because that's the other thing that we have to be careful of. We don't want to just give credit into legacy contracts and then dilute everybody that's here in Fusion already. So these equations have accounted for both of that. And we also have, excuse me, we also have the EMP in the treasury backing up the distribution. So all the EMP that is associated with this credit will also be burned. So we're not minting new EMP or anything like that. So we're still a few weeks away from this, but we'll have an update with instructions. You will need to manually claim when we are ready to get credit. You don't have to have a position. In Fusion, we'll be able to mint you a NFT. If you don't have it, that was something we were we weren't too sure on, but we are able to just mint you a new position in Fusion. And so again, all this will be laid out, but the high level overview is for Detonator and Reactor and really all DOS contracts. It's your deposit plus whatever you were able to compound, including winnings from largest deposit and um, uh, daily lottery, and then that is times by 3.65 or 365 percent, which was the max payout in those contracts, and then minus whatever you have claimed. So if those of you were already in Detonator, Reactor, any of those, and were claiming every day, you may not even get a credit because you've already profited, from the contract. So again, this is for people that lost out and will be applied to their Fusion balance. Then, as far as Defenders and Sentinels, it is a static value of 150 SAC points per NFT. Again, it's calculated at the 4,000 to 1 ratio, while EMP is $1. So again, you will have to hold until we get back to $4,000 ETH if you want the full half credit. But that is just what it is because those NFTs, and we have the on-chain data to prove it. I mean, people say they didn't, but the numbers don't lie. A lot of the NFT holders were in profit from what they got in at. So even if you have to sell at a discount, you should be definitely made whole with your NFTs. And then last but not least is Nodes. So Nodes was a 400% maximum payout. So it's user deposit times 4 minus total claimed. And because it's EMP in, EMP out, it's a little bit of a bonus on that. So that's how we were able to determine the formula for everybody that was in. So, and again, that accounts for compounding or whatever. If you did compound, it's essentially a new deposit into Nodes. So all the math again works out, and even with all these additional stack points, it still isn't enough to really dramatically dilute everybody that's in Fusion. So, and this is it. Once this is done, then stack points actually are inflationary at that point. I'm sorry, deflationary at that point because we'll be buying stack points off the market and burning them, and then there really isn't that much EMP left to sacrifice into Fusion, which again determines how the stack points are calculated. So, all right. Again, that's a high level overview. We'll have more info as we go. LA, did that help?
Yeah, I think so. If you guys have any questions on that, definitely let us know in the comments.
Okay, perfect. All right, what is next on the list?
The timing for the legacy. So I can go over that. So great news that we shared that both the vaults and the recovery bonds are scheduled to launch next week, which means that legacy contract migrations and the USDT battery are up next in the development schedule. So once the vaults and bonds are out, we can finally finish this up and get everyone credited. And obviously, AJ just went over the math. And I just wanted you guys to know, when I was writing these notes this afternoon, I just really I have this feeling that things are about to start heating up. We have a lot of progress being made behind the scenes. We're going to start seeing things heat up very fast. So we're already starting to see amazing peg recovery in spite of one individual having been selling a large chunk of his EMP holdings this past week. Our community is working really well together to provide liquidity for EMP ETH and to continue to help us rise towards peg. And the developers are making amazing progress in spite of having a reduced workforce now with those developer team. And so just get ready for things to start heating up and start asking yourself the questions, what can I do now while things have still been a little bit stagnant and people are waiting around for seeing what's going to happen? Ask yourself what I can do now to take advantage of that state that we're in right now before things start to really heat up, because every week that passes, we're going to see more and more progress. And you can see that there's some mega progress coming next week that's going to show the community that we're on the right track to getting back to the momentum and progress we were having prior to the hack. So I want you to ask yourself those questions so that you can personally be in the best possible position to really capitalize on everything that you've put into this protocol over the last few years.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. All right, and speaking of that, I don't know if you want me to elaborate on anything what you just said. I think you did a great job, but we have some pretty cool competition specifically too, right? I mean, I know people have been asking about the Olympics, but I don't know if we're ready to share that quite yet. But we've
No,
definitely
not
been
yet.
having.
I told everyone that we have to hit our community goal 2 weeks in a row, and
Yeah,
then we are going to launch the Olympics. So we have to make that happen. But in regards to competitions, we did want to go over the fact that we went over this last week. We'll only be rewarding prizes on a weekly and monthly basis if the community goals are met the week before. So last week, we did not reach our community goal. That means there's no active competition this week. But what we can do is we can ensure that there is a competition next week and there are those prizes by reaching this week's goal. This week's goal is only 50,000 EMP. That's the lowest we've ever had it set at, and that's the lowest we ever will have it set at. That's how much we want to reward everyone and keep these competitions going. So we're extremely close to reaching peg. It does not take much from each person to reach it. And right now, the competitions are absolutely anyone's game.
perfect. Yeah, 100%. I can pull up some of the metrics too, but yeah, that again, we're doing everything we can to incentivize people to deposit into Fusion. A lot of you even now have been taking advantage of that. Remember too, with the peg being down, every time you see a dip on the EMP price itself, that means you're getting a larger multiplier. So there is built-in mechanisms that reward people for buying EMP and sacrificing it as we do see people selling. So, and as this happens, that means less and less EMP is, available. So that, and that is because EMP is now a max supply. That means that, this is all moving forward to a goal that we, the main goal is that there is no more EMP to sell. Everybody has ownership within Fusion, and then we just crank out rewards to everybody in Fusion. So it's a multi-step process. We go over it on almost every AMA, but right now it's about recovering peg. Then it transitions into maximizing rewards for everybody. So all right. What else? LA, do you want me to? Maybe we'll mention the BrokeNoMo competition as well. Yeah, we're also giving away some new rewards for BrokeNoMo. That is also actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and pull it up. LA, if you just want to go through, because I won't be able to see the notes, but let me pull it up. Bear with me here.
All right. Yeah, so we are having a BrokeNoMo competition, and that was live as of last week, and it was live as of the 21st. And basically, there are 3 prizes: 500K for the first place, 250K for the second place, and 100K Mo for the third place. All you need to enter is you need to hold 100,000 Mo in your wallet by the time that the competition started. And whether you're a whale or just getting started, there's a leaderboard that suits you. Only 1 win per wallet across 3 weeks max, and then you're in a cooldown for 2 weeks. So those are kind of
Perfect.
the terms and conditions.
Yeah, no doubt. It's very, very similar to the EMP metrics, but this is for Mo. Again, this is our meme token that actually has some really cool economics. I think Grover has termed the code ReflectoMo, which means you basically get PLS and more Mo tokens just for holding your token. Obviously, things are a little suppressed on Pulse right now, but as volume increases and excitement comes back, this could do some really big passive income just through the reflections. So and yeah, there's a leaderboard too of all the top holders. There you go. And then what else? LA. Oh, the let me just show this here. All right, so again, as you can see, even with the low volume and PLS being suppressed, we're still at about a total yield of 42% APR. So that's pretty amazing considering how again suppressed the token is and how suppressed Pulse Chain is. So I still have really high hopes for this token, and as the treasury recovers and the flywheel starts again, there will be buying and burning of Mo, and we have exposure through a liquidity web to a lot of the big Pulse Chain tokens. Again, Pulse, PulseX, Inc. Most some of the memes. So as the whole ecosystem recovers, you get exposure to all that. So it's a great way to again be part of our ecosystem, but still have exposure to the success of PLS overall. And speaking of that too, again, Richard has officially been dismissed of all SEC charges. There was that news already kind of happened, but there was a window that the SEC could file an amendment and response, and that happened. That time has now gone and passed. So it is officially 100% over, and found not guilty on everything the SEC was bringing forward. So again, PLS is hopefully primed to recover as well, along with the overall markets. We see ETH recover, and I think Pulse will do incredibly well considering all the stack funds are in ETH. So all right. What else, LA? I think something about Fusion, or what was the next thing on the list?
Yep, there's one last thing regarding Fusion Watch. It's called My Wealth. It's powered by fusionwatch.com/myfusion page. A glimpse into the growing portfolio that many of us are building within the Fusion ecosystem. Each token reflects a piece of the movement we're all a part of. More assets are coming soon, spanning across Fusion connected ecosystems. Some bonus Pulse native tokens as well are shown on that page.
Awesome. So yes, under my Fusion, again, yeah, if you can see down here, you connect your wallet, and it will also show you your exposure on Pulse. Again, that's another issue. Rabby has discontinued support for Pulse, so it's a bit difficult to find the tokens that you actually have without importing them into your wallet. So this will recognize what there is on chain as well. So and then obviously your usual um, metrics. This wallet doesn't have EMP, but you will see your fusion progress here. Your ownership percentage, and then eventually your total microgrid value. So this is a great spot right here to see kind of a high level overview of your entire portfolio, both inside Fusion and our sister projects. Cool. All right, awesome. All right. Do you want to go back to questions, LA? Anything else on the list I can elaborate on? Let me go ahead and pull it up. Hang on.
There's a bunch of questions in the chat, so I'd love to dive into some of those. I have one here from Moley. It's asking, could you please show the math on a sample position? Would you feel comfortable doing that live?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't even know where to begin because again, it's going to be dependent on what your individual holdings were in the legacy contract. So again, yeah, I can't really, the math is there. You just have to do the math based on what you remember your balances being. And if you don't remember, then again, we've taken all the data from the snapshot. And, if for whatever reason you feel the credit wasn't applied properly, then you'll have to open a ticket when the time comes. But yeah, again, I don't know. The math is there. Maybe Grover, some of the more big brain admins can help do the math individually with people in our socials.
Yeah. And then just in regards to a couple of the comments here, just remember that we're doing this crediting into Fusion as a kind gesture. It's not a necessary gesture. And so whether or not you're necessarily happy with the math, this is a gift. And so let's remember that.
100%.
Here's the next question from Vlad. Does the same rules apply to generator as detonator and reactor? Yes. There's a little part of the announcement that you can read about generator. Are there any plans for a recovery plan for the Yield Consortium deposits?
Yep. So again, that's all part of the recovery bond program. Again, the actual users in Yield Consortium were in the vaults, so it's not separate. Those wallets are accounted for in the vault recovery. So yeah, and if you're part of Yield Consortium, you already know what's happening. So if you're not, then it doesn't matter to you. And if you're interested in that opportunity again, when we get the vaults going again and everything's back to normal, that it's been proven. I mean, it's one of the only things in crypto that has real results based on the real yield. So the only issue right now was the hack, but once that is behind us, then Consortium and anything that we roll out with that is still a proven model. So yeah, it was doing like 10% a month for like 6 months. So and the only thing that affected that was the hack.
Okay, cool. Megabuddy has a question, but Megabuddy, if you could please actually clarify your question, because it says, where does EMP come for the competition? I'm wondering if he's asking like where does the prize money come from? But if you could clarify your question, that would be helpful.
Yep, and I'll answer that again. That's part of the treasury. And all of that EMP is no longer mintable, so there's only a max supply. And after we did the migration, there is way more EMP than I think people realize that is held by the treasury. So once we're at peg, we implement the stabilization bot. We maintain peg. Then all that goes into the yield of Fusion. moving forward, and then there will be some point that there is no more EMP. All the EMP is in Fusion, and then it doesn't matter. You have to buy your microgrid from someone else if you want to get some juicy returns. So that is the ultimate goal for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, maybe you can address this comment from Richard, because I don't really understand. It says it makes no sense to buy when the market points are like 6x, so the prize wasn't enough to go that route. Maybe do a different competition to equalize it so it would.
Yeah, so again, I think that's just a misunderstanding of what the mechanics are. You're not getting your bonus on buying EMP. You're getting your bonus on sacrificing EMP. So if you don't have an EMP, you have to obviously buy it and sacrifice it. If you have EMP that you already have bought but haven't sacrificed, then it makes sense to sacrifice when there are dips because you're getting a bonus. Again, whether you're buying it or just sacrificing it, the whole mechanism of incentivizing is the actual peg bonus. So, obviously buying EMP and sacrificing it is better for the ecosystem because then it pushes the peg up and whoever goes in after you gets less of a peg bonus. But, it is what it is. I mean, again, it's not necessarily a bonus on just buying alone because that wouldn't make sense. And if that was the case, people just buy EMP and then turn around and sell it for an instant 6x profit. So obviously that wouldn't work.
Yeah, and then just a reminder, the competitions are only a bonus. Like, it's a prize. The real meat and potatoes is getting your hands on EMP when it's still this cheap, while you can still get over a 2x peg bonus, and while you can help contribute to getting back to peg, which is going to help your own position within Fusion, because then we can start this marketing kick and all of these things that are going to help raise APRs within the system and make you more money.
Yeah, 100%. And a follow-up he just put here is 100% true, and we've been actively promoting this in the socials. Sometimes it is a better deal to buy on the secondary market. So, some people get impatient and sell their microgrids at a deep discount. That's opportunity for everybody. And again, it's not a matter of what's better than the other. It flows with what there is. I mean, tomorrow there may not be any undervalued microgrids on the market, and it is a much better deal to buy and sacrifice EMP directly. So again, it's not a comparison of what's better than the other. That's part of the gamification that's built into Fusion, so that those that are paying attention and understand the ecosystem and are here for the right reasons, they're able to do some arbitrage and figure out what the better deal is and get a good position. So yeah, that's all by design.
Yeah. I'm going to address Mega Buddy's question, but I do ask again that you ask more concise, full questions so that we can kind of follow along more easily. But when you are sacrificing into Fusion with your EMP, it's essentially being burnt because all of the EMP inside Fusion is never going to be taken out. Once it's in there, it's in there. And so our goal is to get 100% of the EMP on the market sacrificed into Fusion so that we as the users inside Fusion have complete control over the future of Fusion. And so yes, we are looking to burn as much EMP and eShare as possible.
Yeah, 100%. And again, I mean, everything is verifiable on chain. There is the Fusion contract address that is, I think, the first or second largest holder of EMP. And like Ella said, you can prove every single EMP that has gone into Fusion has never come out and will never come out. So and eventually, I mean, we could definitely burn that EMP like on chain, but it does kind of mess with our calculations for peg recovery and the market cap. So we don't want to just burn all that EMP and then reduce our market cap by half, and then people think, those that aren't in the ecosystem think that, we're going down when we're not. So again, there's a lot of factors at play on why we do what we do. But at the end of the day, what matters is all the EMP that goes into Fusion will never be on the market ever again. So
Yes. So Neil has a question. Will EMP nodes automatically go into Fusion, or do I have to do something? So
yeah, great question.
I want to just emphasize to everyone listening, when it is time to do this legacy migration, it's going to be really important to pay attention to the pinned announcements. We want obviously to protect everyone's security. We will not randomly DM you anything. Yes, we will go over the announcement on the AMAs, but please make sure you get your important information from the pinned announcements. There will be something you have to do. I'll let AJ go into that part.
Yep, absolutely. So again, uh, there is an extra step, and that is again by design. Everything we do has a reason behind it. So yes, the short answer is, will EMP nodes automatically go into Fusion? The answer is no. So you will have to do one extra step, um, and it's very simple. So we'll have a new interface that says, legacy migration, and there will be a button, and all you do is click that button. And what that does is it's essentially a proof of life, for lack of a better word. And it shows that you own that wallet and that you are still in the ecosystem, because we're not going to airdrop again, like Ella said, and what we said all along. This is something that we're doing as a courtesy, not something that we have to do. So the last thing we want to do is airdrop people that, have moved on from the ecosystem, or even worse, God forbid, a hacker, that has gained control of a wallet, and has left the ecosystem and doesn't even know what EMP is anymore. We don't want to give them credit either. So this is a way to make sure that people that are here, paying attention, invested in the ecosystem mentally. Again, I don't mean necessarily, monetarily, because even if you didn't do if you didn't put anything into Fusion, you still are eligible for this credit. So it's about being tapped in. So it's simple button. You press a button, it will prove that you own that address and that you are here, and then we're able to credit you all that you're due, whether it's nodes, detonator, reactor, and it will be a total. So you don't have to do it for each individual um, contract. It'll just we have again everything, all the data is there on chain. That's what blockchain is so amazing with. It's an on chain immutable ledger. So we have all that data already. We've done multiple snapshots, and we can just apply it based on what you're owed.
Awesome. Yes. Mail has a good question. What will happen to what is not claimed?
Yeah, I love this. It's bullish. It essentially is burned. So again, that's another really awesome thing. I mean, that's why the migration, this crediting process, everything that we do, we're making it more beneficial to all the people that are still here and have stuck with us and had the vision and are part of the ecosystem and continue to support the ecosystem. Again, we're not here clicking buttons for anybody. So if you think EMP sucks and you hate me and you hate LA and you sold, then that's fine, but you're not going to be getting any credit moving forward. And that's how crypto is. I mean, again, it's about rewarding the people that are here for the long run, that have been with us. And so, yeah, any unclaimed legacy migrations, will no longer get credit. So we'll have a window. It'll be fair. Again, it'll probably be at least a couple of weeks. maybe even a month, just like we did with the EMP migration. We'll probably even extend it, like we do every time for those that don't pay attention. But once that window is over, that is it. So I don't know. There's not much more we can do to force people.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, there was one question on Discord. Could the team please talk about why the USDex plus sdai pair fell in value?
Yeah, so we'll have a full update on that as well. In terms of the uh, uh, stables, USDex, sdai, we have a whole update coming on that too. But the short answer is it's related to the original hack. So again, well, if you have it now, I would just say hold on to it. Until you're fully aware of what we're doing moving forward, and then you can make a decision from there. But that plays into the recovery bonds and everything else moving forward for next week. So
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's it for questions. Lots
all
of
right,
good tonight.
yeah, good deal. All right, I don't see anything else on YouTube as well. Again, there were some questions that we just chose not to answer. Just again, people that don't understand the ecosystem and are just here to create problems. So, that being said, though, I think we answered everything we needed to, and yeah, hopefully, what all of you are excited for what is coming. I mean, like I've said all along, it is bullish. I mean, you can laugh at that or think it isn't or whatever, but we have real revenue supporting the ecosystem. 99% of other protocols have just disappeared. Honestly, I mean, I'd love to hear in the chat. Maybe we do that next week. Like, DeFi is just so dead right now. I don't even know what anybody is in other than our ecosystem. Like, it's gotten to that point. And again, that's usually a really great indicator of the bottom. So again, there's a lot of things that are bullish. And again, I know absolutely zero protocols that are giving any credit on potential games or any part of their ecosystems that may or may not have been successful. So those that are here and supporting, it's because of you that we're doing this, not because of the haters, for sure. So, all right, yeah,
Yeah.
LA, any final words? Again, I know we talk about a lot the hero's journey. Man, we are being tested lately, that's for sure. But
Yeah. But
that
you know
makes it
what?
even
Like
sweeter.
there's like a very key pattern that the people that are hating are the ones that don't show up regularly to AMAs and educate themselves. And so they make things up in their minds about what's going on instead of being here and asking questions. So that's why we appreciate so much all of you guys who not only are here asking the questions that are on your mind so that we can get you solid answers, but also that are showing us so much support and truly do understand that we lost our life savings too, and we're doing absolutely everything we can to keep this protocol going and restore it not only to where we were, but far beyond it and reach all of our goals together because we care about all of you guys. And so all the support that you give us is very, very helpful, more than you guys know. So we appreciate all of you and we love all your questions, even the hard ones. But those few people that pop in and out who aren't around regularly, who decide to FUD, it's simply because they're not educating themselves. And so we have no problem saying bye to them.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, LA. And again, you know, we not to get too in depth here, but there is no more thankless job on the planet than being a developer and a team lead and a community manager and everything that we do. I mean, again, the last few weeks have been extremely stressful for all of us. Any other project or team or anybody would just have given up and moved on. I can guarantee you that. So the fact that we have it, the fact that we won't, the fact that we have never will, and we've proven that, not just words, but have proven that with literally everything that we have done for the last 3 years. I mean, again, I just don't know what else to say. So, and unfortunately, the like Ellie said, the haters that come in and out, are hard to ignore. But it's because of all of you that have been here, this amazing community that we have built. You know, uh, we do have a family, and we are going to take care of our family as we move forward. It may not be on the time horizon that we all had hoped for. Obviously, everybody wants to get rich tomorrow, but that's just not realistic. So we have to just regroup and take a step back and move forward. And the really bullish part of all that is we have a bulletproof plan to do that. I mean, the economics are absolutely incredible. No more inflation, real yield supporting all of our ecosystems, exposure to a lot of, assets, whether it's ETH or Bitcoin or anything else. That is going to grow with the overall crypto markets as we move forward. And again, the haters and the drama and the high tensions are at their worst always during a bear market. And we're in a mini bear. I mean, again, I'm an eternal optimist, so I never think that we're in a bear market. But you can't argue with ETH price and what we've seen in terms of sentiment. Even though there's so many things in favor of crypto, again, it's pure manipulation because the president of the United States has his own meme token. I mean, I never thought that would even be a thing. I don't know how much more bullish it can get. People are excited about crypto. But you can't argue with the manipulation. So once all that is past us, sentiment returns, people are excited again, numbers are going up, then all this will be a blip on the radar, and we've seen it over and over again play out that way. So all that we can do is promise to keep building, and that is 100% what we can promise and guarantee, that we are going to keep building and we are going to keep supporting what we've built, and that's all we can do. So all right, awesome. I think sorry to get a little bit emotional and maybe on a soapbox, but it's been a really tough few weeks after all this, and it is definitely a thankless job for sure. So, all right, LA, anything you want to say to wrap it up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love and appreciate all of you. And thanks for being our cheerleaders. And we're going to keep doing everything in our power to make everyone happy with where we're going. And so thanks for being here. You guys rock. And hopefully you'll join us in 40 minutes for the HVM AMA.
Yep, 100%. Again, we'll have all updates next week. Keep an eye out on all our socials for Monday. Vaults will be back up and running. That means more real revenue coming back to those that were affected and our treasuries. That alone is bullish. And then, yeah, like I said, we have HVM. We have two other protocols that are still in the works, Cash Apps and Gia. We have so much infrastructure that we have built that no other crypto project has. So that alone should get you excited for the future. And by being part of the EMP and dexFi ecosystem, you share in that success. So again, just hang in there and get excited for what's coming and the real results that we have behind what we've done and will continue to do. So all right. I appreciate you being here. LA, again, my co host with the most. I couldn't do it without you and being here on my own. But we're continually building and the success will come. So cheers to all of you. Remember, we come to you every Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Like LA said as well, please join us for our next AMA at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on our Honor vs. Madness channel. That is our new game, which again is real revenue. EMP gets 10% of all the revenue that is generated through HVM, which again is super bullish. So definitely join us over there. We have a lot of updates in that ecosystem as well. We have officially launched on Sonic, and that's been getting some good attention. So yeah, make sure you check in over there. But all right, that'll do it. Good night, good day. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you next week. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.